Hey everybody, how you doing? Happy Sunday. I made a video. It's a sit down video in a while, so I had to make a little run to the store, so I figured, why not film it in the car? What am I smoking? I'm smoking some of that old Shenandoah, and one of the pipes I made, this was actually one I messed up. So it's a reject pipe, but it still smokes. Yeah, the stem doesn't fit right and the drilling was off, but I was playing with some rustication on this one. So I just kind of use it as a shop pipe, I guess. A knock around pipe. So, this weekend was Lincoln Lager Barley Fest, or everybody just calls it Barley Fest around here. Generally Wisconsin's known for, well, famous for a few things, and that's usually cheese, beer, and for you guys, people that might not know, Harley Davidson motorcycles. That's the birthplace was in Milwaukee. So those are really big here in Wisconsin. So we're kind of famous for that too. Now they're kind of built around other places, but and of course, go Pack Go, right? Yeah, a little side note about the Packers. This ain't gonna be a video. I don't care how you feel about the sit stand, whatever. I'm not getting into that. I'll leave that up to other people to make videos on that. But I think about the Packers. If you're not a football fan or don't know, they're actually one of the only teams that does not have an owner. They're owned by the city. So that's why if your team's ever playing one, Packers, and you happen to see a guy with a wedge of cheese on his head, it says owner. Cool thing about that too is they have a shareholder meeting every year too. So. And the stadium just fills out with people from around the city, and that's their shareholder meeting, so it's kind of interesting. Yeah, another thing about the Packers, this is going to be a random pipe video anyways. Even when they were bad, like in the 80s, like getting in like Mikowski years, and even before that, like you see a lot of these other teams, you see their stadium and they're not full. Packer Stadium is almost always full. It's hard to even get tickets when you live here, which is crazy. I mean, even season tickets are hard to get a hold of. I have a friend. If you can apply for season tickets, and they send you an update every year of where you are on the list. And my friend just got his update a few weeks back where he is on the list for season tickets for the Packers. And to give you an idea how hard they are to get, if you want season tickets, he's been applied 20 years ago, and he still has, I think, 46 or 56,000 people still in front of him after 20 years. So that's why even in people's wills, they leave their season tickets to family members. Just, you can't get them. That's one of the reasons they travel so well, too. Sometimes it's easier to take a small vacation even if they're playing like a team like Arizona, so, or let's say why they that's why they travel well, the fan base does, because sometimes the tickets can get so ungodly expensive around here, you might as well take a vacation, go down to Arizona or Dallas or wherever it would be. But anyways, back to the Barley Fest. It's kind of a, well, it is what it is, like an Oktoberfest. You go around and sample a bunch of different beers. My stomach's feeling a little bit today. I wasn't drunk or anything, or I don't want to vomit. It just, you can only put so many IPAs and ambers and stouts, in there, and they don't, they're only going to play happy for so long with each other down your stomach. But yeah, by no means did I get drunk or anything. And the cool thing about the one we have in our town is they actually run the city buses, which is kind of neat. So if you want to go to it, nobody really has to drive. I mean, people do. It's not a big town, but it's kind of cool that the city will actually they run all the city buses on a Saturday evening or afternoon. It starts at 2 and runs till 6 or 7. So you can actually take the city bus there and take the city bus, probably not to your house, but I'm sure drop off locations within the town is within walking distance. And then some other, like some of the bars will actually run a shuttle bus there. So, yeah, I mean, no one's driving, but you're going from a bar in a little shuttle bus there back to the bar. But yeah, that was fun. I had a good time. Local brewery won. It's not a surprise. I mean, I didn't vote for the local brewery, even though they make really good beer. They started a couple years ago, but I didn't vote for them. Actually, I liked it's a Kentucky double barrel stout or something like that. I forget the name of the brewing company, but it was actually, excuse me, it was actually really good. They actually had a vanilla stout that was pretty tasty too, and that's the one I voted for. But it was pretty good time. Tried out a lot of different beers. I can't say that I wasn't a little inebriated the first time I went to one of those years ago. That was a different story. I mean, I can drink me some beer. I'm from Wisconsin. Like, my wife's not from here. Like I've mentioned before, she's from New Mexico. She moved here in let's say around 2000, she said. And she even said that you guys just, for whatever reason, you guys just know how to drink beer here. You guys can drink some beer. The thing is, they give you this. The first time I went to that years ago, they give you an 8-ounce glass. So you have this little 8-ounce glass, and it says Barley Fest on it and stuff. And you basically just go up to the different vendors that are there, and they'll have 3 different kinds. You know, they'll have like an amber or a stout or an IPA. And you try one, so they pour you some. Some pour you the whole glass, or a whole 8-ounce glass, or some pour you about 3/4 of the way. And the danger in that is, it's not even so much the ones that pour it all the way full, because you're kind of you're drinking that, and you're aware you're drinking in an 8-ounce glass. The ones that do like half or a little under half, because you're just a couple swallows and it's gone, and you're on to the next one to try one. So it almost becomes at some point like you're taking shots of beer, double shots of beer, and it does catch up with you once you get all the way around to all of them. Then there's an inside circle too, where you can go all the way around. So even a little at a time, it does catch up to you. But they do serve food there. Got to meet Chris Jackie. If you guys aren't Packer fans, he was a kicker during 90s. I think he might have played late 80s, but 90s. No, that Super Bowl team with Favre when we went back in '96. So that was kind of cool. Got to meet Chris Jackie. But yeah, there were some good beers there, and then some of them start to mesh together. And after a while, it's just like, kind of all taste similar. But there was a couple of really good ones. Not that the only ones I don't like I can drink pretty much any kind of beer. I really can. Like I need, like I have beer, no beer. So, I mean, I'm the same way with coffee, too. Like, I know a lot of guys on here, they like their coffees, and they have their French presses and all that stuff, and that's great if you're into that, but I'll just drink any coffee, pretty much. And a lot of that came from when I was working over the road, because, the only option you had was whatever the hotel had. So it's either that or you didn't drink coffee. It wasn't like I was a fancy businessman where I could just go stop somewhere and get coffee on the way. I worked for a company that inspected utility poles, so we're working on a line crew. Your foreman's not gonna stop and be like, "Oh, let's go to Starbucks." No, you're up at leaving the hotel at 5 in the morning and get out there first light. You're just gonna take whatever coffee you can get. So I kind of got used to just drinking kind of, I don't want to say crappy coffee, but I can stomach it. And same for beer. I can stomach pretty much any beer. I mean, I can even sit down and drink Platts all day. So. But the only beer I don't like, and I can't stand, is any kind of pumpkin spice beer. No. I can't. And I can stomach some pretty questionable beer, but pumpkin spice, man, I can't do that. Not in beer. I don't like a lot of. They had some people there who was doing like cider and stuff like that, and that's okay once in a while, but that's like Heartburn City if you're gonna drink that stuff. The only like fruity beer I kind of will drink is like I like Summer Shanty. Some people don't, but that's kind of like my summer beer. I like that one. Not too lemony, not too fruity, nice little light beverage, which has gone away because it's seasonal. So that's like that's my official beginning of summer, or my official end of summer is summer shanty. The summer's here when I can sit outside and grill with a can of summer shanty and a pipe. That's how I know summer's here, and I know it's gone away when the last one's here, and it's usually replaced by whatever, Oktoberfest, I think. The other thing too with beer is I can drink warm beer. A lot of my friends always found that weird. Like, even if we were going to a cookout and stuff, I wouldn't even necessarily put my beer in the cooler. Like, warm, room temperature, a little warmer, I can still drink that. And I always wondered about that. I never, I shouldn't say wondered about that. I guess more other people wondered about that. We were drinking at a bar once. We had stopped after a round of golf. And it came up, and there was an old timer in there. And one of my friends had mentioned the bartender. He's like, oh, well, he can drink warm beer. Don't worry about it. And the old timer said, did you grow up on a farm? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I did. Grew up on a farm most of my life. Actually, I'm the first generation of my family since they came to America that is not farming. So, been around that whole, it's Wisconsin, so it was a dairy farm. Holsteins, Jerseys, and all that stuff. Even some Dutch belted cows. But I'm not sure what that had to do with anything, but the guy was kind of talking about that, and there's a couple of, he's known quite a few farmers that can drink warm beer. And like I said, I never really gave it that much thought, but then it kind of put two and two together, and he kind of explained it. It's like when you're making hay, or you're doing field work, it's specifically hay, because it's usually, it's summer, it's hot, and obviously you've got to do hay when it's not raining, or like they say, when the sun is shining, because you don't want it. I'm not going to get into specifics how to make hay and what degrades it and what makes it better than others, but anyways, it's going to be hot. And if you ever slung hay before and made it, unload wagons, man, the stuff sticks all over you too. But you have a cooler maybe, but a lot of people doing field work, you don't have a way to keep whatever beverage you have cold. So you're happy to drink anything that's wet. So I think, like his point, it's just so many people that did that kind of work, you got used to drinking whatever was wet at the time. It might not necessarily even be cold anymore, even if you had a cooler with not even beer, but even if it was soda or water, by the time you get done doing a lot of that cooler ain't cold no more. So I kind of was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So I did actually work on a new pipe, but I'll put that in a different video. This one's gone long enough. So hopefully you guys had an exciting weekend. This is kind of just random gibberish, but hey, that's alright. But alright guys, we'll talk to you later. You guys have a good weekend. Go Pack Go.